Hi folks, welcome back to the Wider channel. Today we're going to do our first real big modification to the Spyder F3. On our 2016 RT Limited, we added the 7-inch CarPlay screen provided by Carpuride. Carpuride has been gracious enough to send us their newest, latest, and greatest model, the W603D, to try on the F3S. So without further ado, let's get this thing started. We're going to get started with the unboxing of the Carpuride 603D. This is dual cameras, video recorder, as well as being a CarPlay device. Right off the bat, we can see that it has more cables coming out of it than the single cable that comes out of the W702. So just going through the wiring real quick, we have the controller, which is a wired controller that you put on the handlebar right next to your thumb, and it allows you to do a various number of functions. We have the rear camera connection, the front camera connection, and of course power. Going further into the box, we have a Ram style ball mount. And these are set for different sizes of handlebars as well. We are not going to use this one, although this one I think would work on the Spyder F3. But I'm afraid of how this would pinch the wires that run up it. Plus, I really am a fan of the screw-in type, and I'll show you that as we're installing this. But very nice upgrade to what came originally on the W702, which was a U-bolt that had a Ram style mount on it as well. And that is, I believe, a 1-inch Ram ball. We have various little rubber pieces to shim out the mount, and different size screws, a hex style screwdriver. I believe that's for the remote control, the hand wired remote, and an Allen wrench for the screws that come with the package. Next in the box we have our power wire. This power wire has a positive, a negative, and I believe we are switched accessory as well. Moving on to our cameras, this one says it is the rear camera, channel 2. And we'll find a place to mount that. Dig down and we'll grab the front camera, front, channel 1. And we'll find a place on the front of the F3 to mount that. This is the wired remote, and the wired remote has a home button on it, accept calls, and this kind of recycle looking button, and we'll get into that further after we get it installed and turned on. This is the short ball mount piece. And of course, wouldn't be complete without a manual. So now we're going to take this W603D and mount it on the Spyder F3. Alright, so this takes a T7. We're going to mount it right in this, just like we did on the RT. This is how the kit comes when you buy it on Amazon. The link for this is in the description below, along with the link to the Carpuride device. My link for the Carpuride device actually has a savings that gets passed along to you. There's a coupon code to save you some money, and also helps the channel out. So the little washer that came off, we'll put that right back on there. And we'll give her a little bit of this blue thread lock. There it is. Now all that's left is our ram ball mount piece. And like I mentioned before, the handlebar mount that it comes with would fit on here, but because the wiring there, I'd have to pull that away, and I really like it nice and tight, and I like this. I've really liked it on the RT, so I just went with the same one. So I mentioned there were 3 screws in the package. This particular one is the medium size. There's a small, medium, and large. This is the medium size, intended for this small arm. I'm just going to get it started with the Allen wrench. You can mount the carpuride device. I'm going to put this a little bit low so it makes sense for where we need it. So this is as if I was looking at it right here from the driving position. All right, so now the fun part. This actually comes off really easy here. Just a quick twist of that, and that panel comes right off. What we're looking for to power this is this customer accessory circuit. There's actually 3 of these, from what I'm told, on the Spyder F3. This is not the one we're going to use, even though this is nice and close to us. We also need, besides the switched power, we need a constant power. So we're going to fish all the way down to the battery. So we have a constant power down there and a switched power. There is one of these customer accessory wires down by the battery as well. So we're going to start by taking the side off here. We have these 3 pins right here, 2 T25 screws here, and there's also two T25s underneath here as well. Well, that was easy. Now these normally have push pins in them. This didn't have any push pins in there when I got it. I think they had it out for the battery. It made it very nice and easy when I found out that there was a problem with that battery tender wire. So like I said, there is another customer accessory wire. customer accessory circuit right there. So we'll pull that back and get to that guy. There it is right there. And we'll strip the wires back to reveal that once we get the wires run down here. Now I've used this before. I had this out when I did the CarPlay device on the Phoenix. It's very, very nice for grabbing wires and pulling them through. It's rigid enough to make it through some of these spaces, but still flexible enough that we can snake around things. So I'll link this one in the description again. Very, very handy tool. Alright, so now we're going to get down in here and do this little zip tie. Making sure not to cut any of the other wire. We'll feed that back out of there. I'll give her a little unwrap. After you get it peeled back a little bit, you'll see that there are two wires in here. There's a purple and yellow that is switched power, and there is a black, which is our ground. Cut those off. Nice little shields to keep them from shorting out against things. Now anytime I'm working with electronics that can get water, I use these type of connectors to put them together. You'll see they shrink right down with heat. They're like a shrink tube. Give it a good twist. And then with these smaller gauge wires, what I like to do is just fold it over. Smash it down a little bit. And it goes in there nicely into the connector. Now all I have to do is put this in the red and crimp it down. A little pull, looks good. Likewise with the ground. Strip off a little bit more than I did. Give it a twist. There we go. So now our accessory power, our ground are ready. And then this one, battery positive, just goes into the positive on the battery. So that's why we ran it down here specifically. I'll get these stripped back a little bit. I'm going to load this up in here and get it ready to crimp down. So all we have to do is put the wire in there and pull the crimp. So continuing with the negative, we'll load that up just like we did with the positive, get it ready to crimp. So all we have to do is put that black wire into the connector, and crimp it down. So now we have good solid connections. And all we have to do is apply some heat, and that'll shrink those down and make them watertight. So for doing this heat, I have this little Dremel butane torch. It doubles as a soldering iron too for some of the other projects that I've done. Works very, very good for this. All I got to do is turn it on and lock it. Some good heat coming off of there. And let it shrink down. Now a lighter works just as well for this. That's what I've used to use as well. This is just way nicer than using an open flame. This heats up a little ceramic element inside the end of that torch. Next on my list is the constant power. And that's it with that. Now all we have to do is plug in our power. And we'll start it up to give it a test. Just like that, we have the Carpuride logo. turn it off. And it shuts right off with the accessory power. We'll get started on wiring the rest of it, button everything up, zip tie everything down, and we'll show you how to use it. So the next part of this is the cameras. Now the cameras can be mounted any way because they have the ability to turn in their mounts. So these mounts don't have to go straight up and down or upside down. They can go any which way. And for this, I've decided that I want to go right here in front of the mirror and mount it right there, which will give me a pretty good forward look. So, first things first, we'll get it cleaned up. A little bit of alcohol, cleaned up real nice. Take off the sticky back. And get it as close to level as possible. And then all we have to do is set the camera angle using the screen once we fire it up, and run this wire up. So next on the old agenda is finding the spot for the rear camera. Rear camera, much the same. We got the movable mount, so we can rotate it in the mount. This one I'm going to mount upside down underneath the back tire here, and it is specifically the rear channel 2 because it has a nice long cord. The other one is, the front one is quite short, so be sure to use the right camera for the right location, front for front, rear for rear. Right underneath here, there is this access panel. Found that one of them is actually missing. I'm going to use that for chasing the wire back, but I'm also going to mount right the other side of it, just this side of the panel, so I can go right up into there. When I do get the replacement cover for over here, I'll just trim a little hole in the piece of that for the wire to go through. First things first, let's get the seat off. I've found that the seat comes off quite easily. Just turn the key just like you're opening the front, but do it the other way. And lift up on the seat while you're doing that. And there's a nice little safety catch just in case it does come off while you're going down the road. Just undo that, and there it goes. So we have a hole that goes down and right into that area, but there are pads on the bottom of the seats that go, or on the bottom of the back seat. There's a pad on the bottom of the back seat that goes here, 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 and here. And then the retainer goes right there. So I can't use that hole. I may have to make my own. All right, folks, so I was able to find a path from that without drilling a hole, but it does require that I take the seat off, which I was thinking I was going to have to do anyway to route the wire. So 10 millimeter, a couple of 10 millimeter screws right down here holding the seat in. Get those out of the way. Right here goes directly up in there, and I can pull it out that. So now all I have to do, get the camera wires pulled straight so we don't have any kinks in them. Push in the plunger so it grabs a hold of our connector, and ever so carefully feed it down that direction. And just like that, release it. I now have it down that far. Next order of business is getting it up where the rest of the wires are. So it looks like we can come across right underneath there. Down through here. See if I got lucky here and actually grabbed it. I did, I grabbed the wire. Barely see it, but grabbed it right where it was underneath. Now just fish it through there. Now there are these neat little clips here that are made for just this sort of thing. So I'm going to use that to my advantage to hold the wires where they need to go. Handy dandy grabber time. Maybe. Alright, so now the fun part of mounting the camera underneath there. Peel off our little tape. And just like that, we have our camera mounted. All I gotta do is pull the wire, fish it nice and tight. Or close enough for now. Until we aim the cameras, and then we'll be good to go. So the last piece of this puzzle is the remote control that goes on the handlebars. The remote control, it came with this little Allen head screwdriver for these little screws that are on the handlebar remote clamp, I guess, for lack of better words here. It does come with little rubber stoppers there, but this handle, this grip is thick enough it actually doesn't need it. Looks like, anyway. So it has just enough that I can move it. It's tight enough that it's not going to move on me, but I can move it if I want to. And the clutch does not run into it. So then all we have to do is route this guy. And what I'm going to do is route it right inside those little clips that carry the wiring for the handlebar. And I'll do that second one after I attach this. Bring that up through there. Then put it together. Now we have all of our wires right here. Everything is tucked up and connected. Get it tight out here, so then when I come in there's a little bit of slack to be able to turn. And I left the camera, the front camera, long on purpose because we need to route that around the fender piece when we stick it on there. Put the front liner back in. And the front cover. Now this seems to be something people struggle with. That's what I've heard. Getting that to line up. And then this to line up. Works pretty good. So there we have it. The CarPlay's installed. Our next step, we're going to take it out for a ride and I'll show you some of the features that it has. I have already paired it, so we're good to go. So here we are out on the ride. So as you can see, the CarPlay has connected to CarPlay on my phone. It is considerably smaller screen than the 702 that's on the Phoenix, but that's kind of what I was looking for, the more sporty look on Bravo here. So it is about the same size as my phone, but it's kind of like I mentioned in the previous CarPlay video. It's one of those devices that it's purpose driven for having a short list of things rather than looking at your phone and trying to navigate all of the many functions of your phone. So having the purpose driven CarPlay device, you know, we can see that we have quick access to our maps, we have quick access to the music that's playing. I have some other things for quick navigation. That air is just a little chilly today.
Yeah, with my leggings and you got wind pants, so yeah.
Yeah.
We're not dressed for
Well,
it.
even with my riding jacket on and gloves, it's still cutting through a little bit.
My only thing is my legs are a little chilly.
Yeah.
Yep.
So back to the video. So Sharon's behind me right now. Say hi, Sharon.
Hi.
Woohoo. We've converted the W702 CarPlay device to handle her Android Auto. She's an Android user. We're not judging, right? But how do you think that's working for you? Is that
I think it's working good so far.
so with this, the wired remote that's up here on the handlebar, I can switch by hitting the bottom home button back to the CarPlay home screen, which gives me access to the camera, and you can see Sharon there behind me. If I click that, I have a split screen of the two cameras that's also accessible on the top button. I can switch between things. It's a kind of a cycle of the last thing that was played. So I can swipe across, there's my rear screen, swipe across, there's the front camera. And then I hit the home screen button, or the home button again. Hit it again, it goes right back to CarPlay. So that cycles back and forth between the two. Now I do have a call answer button here too, right in the middle. That is also multifunction. When you're in the home screen, it allows you to take pictures with the two cameras. We'll have to take a look at some of the footage here and try and sew some of that in and show you what the footage looks like off of that as well. So I just hit that call answer button and it said take a photo. Taking a photo.
Don't take selfies while driving.
Yeah, probably not a good idea to selfie. But it is taking a picture of you behind me, so that's kind of neat.
Ah.
It's using that those two cameras, the front and rear cameras, and it will take pictures of what they currently see.
That's cool.
So not something that I was super excited to have. It came in the 603D package. They do have a 603 that doesn't have the cameras, but I requested, since we were going to do this, to look at the best thing that they have available, to show what's out there, show the different things that they have available. Now, we've already shown the W702 on the Phoenix, and that's a very large screen, very nice, especially on the Phoenix, having that larger area. This is kind of a really, really good fit for, being a smaller footprint here. It fits Bravo quite well.
Did you see our first time at this corner, the guy on the bike and stuff were looking at us?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not something you see every day, that's for sure. A couple of spiders rolling around town.
They are getting more common, though. I'm seeing them more and more when I'm driving around.
Yep. And I don't know if it's that I didn't see them before, but I see them. I think I see them more now than I did before. I think you're right.
Is my microphone sounding any better?
Yeah. Yep. I think it'll sound a ton better when you're on your Cardo.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know Jamie's got demolished.
Yeah, look at that. I wonder what they're going to build there. Hopefully a Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, we are not that lucky. Or a Cane's. Cane's would be even better. It will probably be a pot shop.
I'm sure. So I guess I could talk about this helmet as well. This is a little different than the last episode, the brand new helmet that I had in the last one. I liked it, but it was just a little tight still. It was giving me a headache, so I went one size up, and while I was going one size up, I found this really cool color on the C91 that it's called Karan, K-A-R-A-N. It's like a special kind of cairn, I don't know. So I went for that, and it works perfectly. It fits amazingly well. So we ordered a C91 for Sharon as well, and of course when it arrived, it was supposed to be the right size, and she put it on and it was a little tight. So I think if you're ordering a C91 helmet, and again, there's a link to them in the description below, if you are ordering one of them, know that the both of us had to go one size up from what it should have been. And I did read that in the forums as well, that the C91 helmet runs a bit small for what it says it is. So know that you should probably order one size up. I normally have a 2X helmet. This one is a 3X and it fits perfectly. I don't know that I've had a helmet fit as well as this one does. And even HJC's chart that shows the helmet sizing by hat size or head circumference, whatever, it says that I should be somewhere between the extra large and 2X, so I ordered the 2X. And that was, like I said, I was right on the edge of that. So super, super happy with this helmet. This, like I said, I haven't had a helmet fit me as well as this one does. It's super comfortable, and I really like the sunglasses built in. It's a little too bright today to not have those down. Ventilation is super good too. This little pickup right here on the top, when that's open, I can feel the air current going all the way around my head. Like it's got little ducting channels in it to keep it, or to to let the air flow everywhere instead of just into one spot. This will be super nice on those really hot days. Today it's, well, it says right there 60 degrees. So I'm supposed to be talking about this W603D. Just get sidetracked a little bit. There was a whole lot of sidetracking, wasn't there?
Yeah. That'll happen when you got somebody riding with you.
Right, especially when we can talk to each other. That's super cool. So I have started ordering some modifications for this as well. We'll have some good episodes of some mods to put on this F3. Alright, so with CarPlay, again, I've got access to everything here. My maps, my music, phone calls, which kind of fun. I actually received a phone call from my son during the video here, so one of the sons anyway, right?
Yep.
And I can see the time. I can see that it's 2:35 right now. It feels like it's windier right here than it's been.
The open fields.
Yep. So how do you feel with that? You get more comfortable with riding that one?
Yes, I definitely feel like I'm getting more comfortable. It's when I overthink. Like in the beginning, I overthink things. When we start going, I'm way better.
Right. So there's the thing of having a loose grip. With the Spyder, with having that it has power steering on it. Little movements translate into a lot of turning, right? So there's a big thing where riding two-wheel motorcycles, you have a good feel for your left and right. You don't have the power steering thing to contend with. But having two wheels and having power steering, we've got to contend with that. You don't have that preconceived notion of how steering's supposed to work on like a motorcycle, so you probably just have that built-in loose grip on the handlebars.
The trees are really pretty out here,
Yeah,
though.
they are. Now see, that's a Sharon ad to the channel. I wouldn't normally talk about how pretty the trees are. I just notice it and not say anything. With you being part of the channel, part of the rides, you notice things and you'll say something about it.
I would say that's part of my enjoyment of it, of being out
Yeah.
in nature and the beauty and all that good
Right.
stuff.
Like, look at the red on these trees here. I wouldn't
Right?
even notice had you not said something. I just seen it, and this orange is cool too.
Yep. Definitely a beautiful fall day.
Yeah, there's not going to be too many of these riding days left, are there? We're getting shorter and shorter on our riding days. Although I'm hoping to get some riding in over the winter too.
You might be going solo on those.
Yeah, because I'll probably be riding that one, not this one.
Or we go snowmobiling in the winter.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to bring our cameras and stuff to go snowmobiling.
Right?
I don't know, tell us what you think in the comments. Is it the wider channel goes snowmobiling? Is that a good episode? Is that something y'all want to watch? So I guess really to sum it up, this CarPlay W603D is really something cool. Nice to be able to see that that rear camera right there with just the touch of a button right here on my thumb, and then back to CarPlay. I do like the cameras. I didn't think that was going to be something I was even interested in, but it's super neat. And then the other part of that too is all the things that can happen to you on the road. This is always recording what's going on around you, and you have the ability to, it's kind of like having a dash cam in the car. You can see what's happening in front of you and what's happening behind you. So when people pull out in front of you, and I'm sure I'm going to have plenty of those videos to share with you. Although since getting a Spyder, I haven't seen that too many times. Carpuride did provide this to us, so it was no cost to us. Again, another one of those things I was ready to pull the trigger on buying one, and then they reached out and said, hey, show our new technology. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I think, what is it, pull in the clutch, rev it up, hit the subscribe button, big fat thumbs up, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one.